Hello, and thank you for joining me on 8. I am Maggie. And what we are doing a nice slow crawl through this beautiful book, Excuses Be Gone by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Why are we doing this book? Because it is a book on how to change lifelong self-defeating thinking habits. So if you even pick one tool up from this book, you will be large and in charge, healing your life and those around you. So we are currently in part 3, chapter 12. The first question, is it true? And we are going through the excuses that are frequently used in any arena to block one from their highest life. So here we go. And it's interesting because I'm just coming off the God Blueprint with Billy Carson and Dr. B. Cyrus. And whoa, we do not want to, they push the limits so hard, and there's that desire to want to fall back into your excuses. Even with Brian Scott, he is just pushing the boundaries, and that is that comfort that wants to slide back into the excuses. But that's why we're doing this book, so we can move on and tackle everything we need to. So here we go. I can't afford it. I've always held a different concept about my ability to create a necessary financing for anything I've wanted or needed. As you're probably aware, my background is foster home scarcity, economic depression, and having to work for everything I've ever had from the age of 9 for my first paper route, yet I've never allowed myself to use this third excuse. That's another thing from spending my time with Forbidden Knowledge, Billy Carson, Dr. B. Cyrus. I'm just telling you, so many of the people, 19 keys attached to this are motivational, encouraging, and have just come through some of the hardest times, and they are not letting anything hold them back. So I just want to continue to encourage, don't let anything hold you back too. Okay, so let's examine this very common meme to see if it's true. Can you be 100% certain that you're unable to afford whatever it is that you would like to accomplish or purchase? If there's any doubt in your mind, no matter how unlikely prosperity may seem to you now, then you must reject this excuse. The opposite of I can't afford is I can afford it. Even if I don't know at the moment how I can make it all come true financially. Once again, the importance of this question regarding your ability to raise money becomes evident. If the thought, I can afford, if it is true or false. The same can be said as about not being able to afford it. Then why opt for the idea that's almost guaranteed to keep you from reaching your goal? I have found Reverend Ike's teachings he just continues to push letting go of that negative self-identity. So anyway, perhaps you're convinced that you're in a position of being insolvent and unable to attract the financing of your dreams. One of the basic tenets of an excuses be gone paradigm mentally is that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So therefore, thinking about a dearth of cash aligns you with the concept of shortage or lack. The more you focus on what you don't have and don't get, the more you provide the universe with opportunities to offer up excuses, experiences that reflect those beliefs, right? Because what's inside is going to be outside, as above, so below. So by claiming that you can't afford something, you confirm this expectation, which, by the way, is just as likely to be untrue as it is to be true. And the belief itself becomes the source of what you attract. It serves as an obstacle to a universe of unlimited abundance. So I just want to add this. So while we are working on clearing our internal environment so the external reflects it, while we are working on our mindset and things, you also have to remember that you can't just sit in the corner meditating. You do have to take action to clear your 3D reality, to get it moving. Okay, so I don't want to ever give you this false idea that you can just sit back. I mean, not to say that things cannot happen from an extremely allowing state, but there is an aspect that you are in the earth school to interact and be in earth school and be alive and to take action and to experience things. So you're not going to experience this if you're like not withdrawn. So continue to step up to the plate and hit that ball. So I'm sure to tell you that there's no solution for scarcity focused thought process. I'm sorry that there's no solution. I'm sorry to tell you there's no solution for scarcity focused thought processes. Rather, you have to outgrow this kind of immature thinking by reminding yourself that it makes much more sense to assert you're prosperous instead of focusing on I can't afford it. Attract the universal guidance that will help rather than the kind that hinders. Right here and right now. Reverend Ike loves to say that. And it's getting in there. Right here and right now state. I can never be absolutely certain that the finance I need or desire is not on its way. Thus, the belief I can't afford it is false. I refuse to let myself use this excuse. So, you know what's interesting is I am already feeling the up-leveling of the God Blueprint. And we want to word things. So basically, we are going to forward with I can't afford it, and the means from the universe is on its way. We don't want to be structuring things. What you're focused on, you're going to still attract. So this is not about helping you manifest more money, although that's certainly a possibility. It's about helping you to eliminate the excuse of not being able to afford it from your life, because using it keeps you aligned with lack, shortage, and pain. We don't want to do that. Loving what you have and being in a continuous state of contentment is the key to having what you want. However, we do have to embrace the pain sometimes because it is there. I used to have a doctor who used to take care, orthopedic doc, and when I would get broken bones or anybody in our family, he would always say, let the pain be your guide. Well, many, many times pain is a guide, and it's letting you know you need to do something different. So, you know, it doesn't have to be as extreme as David Goggins, who honestly I love, but acknowledging pain sometimes is the way to getting the answer. So, although also be willing to contemplate whatever assistance you need is on its way, even when you can't predict where it's coming from. This helps you to live in alignment with the law of the universe. Since this is a universe of unlimited abundance, why have thoughts contradictory to the truth? So what's so interesting too is in this class that I had today, it's just reverberating through me. But there was so much that I didn't know in the finance that just really challenged me, and that part about knowing that I don't know and that there is so much to learn and that you can be brave and to slowly venture out into the unknown, or, you know, that there's so much possible in everyone's life. So I've always said that what I need financially is not only on its way, but will arrive on time, and it's always for my highest good. In fact, it already exists. All I have to do is connect myself to it. Call me crazy if you will, but this kind of thinking has served me unfailingly. That's right. The falsity of I can't afford it, even more pronounced now. It's almost, I can barely say this now in my 60s, as I stay unattached to what comes my way and offer it to others in a generous as fashion way as I can. This doesn't mean that I simply open the windows and money flies in. Rather, it allows me to act in thoughts that have no room for scarcity. I act on that belief, and I refuse to believe that money is the reason not to do anything. As basic as my channel is right now, it is going to grow. And as it grows, it'll be better and better as I go. So, throughout my life, I've been surprised on many occasions when financing for a project of mine just seemed to manifest out of nowhere. When I was a young sailor who desperately wanted to attend college after my enlistment, for instance, the The funding wasn't immediately available. Nevertheless, I acted upon my strong intention to attend a major university for putting 90% of my savings into a special bank account on Guam. Upon my honorable discharge from a 4-year tour of duty, I had enough money in the bank to pay for my 4-year college. The point is that making the choice to take advantage of thinking I can afford it allows the following two things to happen. The universe cooperation is activated by aligning with a universe that has no limits or shortages, and you begin to act on what you're thinking about. The other thing is our brains are supercomputers, and we actually program it to do what we want. So if we are putting it in there that we can do something like have a YouTube channel and grow and become an elegant woman and be wealthy and healthy and all these other things. The brain, if you continue to work those mindsets, the brain is going to find the answers because it is connected to God. And that quantum field is real and it's going to be working with you. So, excuse number 4, no one will help you. The excuse belongs in the blame category. It is also someone else's fault that you're unable to manifest the happiness, success, and health you'd like. Do other people keep letting you down? Does it seem as if the next impossible to get things done because you can't find anybody to lend you a hand? I'm not suggesting that you're unable to accomplish your dreams without the assistance of others. Rather, I'd like you to consider the validity of the premise that there's no one there to help you. Put this 4th excuse to the truth test. Ask yourself if you can be 100% certain that there won't be anyone out there to help you and that you're in this all alone. This is kind of like working on a YouTube channel and slowly getting positive feedback, likes, and just interacting with a bigger community each day. Like, all things are possible. So if any possibility at all exists that there are people to help you, then you must reject this belief as a falsehood that you've chosen to use as a guidepost for your life. The fact is that there is a limitless number of potential helpers out there, but they may be kept away from you because you keep trying to validate an incorrect belief. So right now, I am validating this belief for me and you too, that we have so many people to help us along our way. So whatever help I require will show up when I need it. And I trust that it is always here and on its way to help me fulfill my highest good. Yes, we're staying there. The kind of thinking is just as likely to be true as false. So your original excuses, so why not go with the positive? Such a favorable notion aligns you with how the universe truly works. So there are billions of human beings on this planet. So why conclude that there's no one to help you accomplish what you feel you've been called upon to create? And as you know, I don't have all the answers. I am working towards it, and I am finding my voice and finding my message and finding how I'm going to be serving. But you gotta walk through this part. And you got to see it as a thrilling part of our adventure. So the answer lies in the blame game, which is a meme planted in your mind by others who have been plagued by mind viruses too. It's just as likely that aid will be there when you need it as if it won't be there. So what's the point of using precious mental energy on an excuse that's much more likely to produce an undesirable outcome? You have the option of using the same energy to produce a desirable outcome. So again, this is one of my mantras now, Tesla, energy, frequency, vibration. And I keep thinking about the numerous, even in my own life, and as I'm coming through this part of my life, but also in the numerous other stories, that you can be a beautiful diamond under a lot of pressure, and you are created under a lot of pressure, but you could be in the sea of poop or way in the middle of a crater somewhere, where no one knows your value. And it's not until some incredible explorer comes along and realizes, like, oh, here's the diamond. This is the diamond, even if it's a diamond in a rough, and this is its value. And then you move from that poop, or you move from that crater into the most elegant showroom, and you are amongst your people that know your value. Energy, frequency, vibration. If you are not finding that frequency, keep going. So it's just as likely that aid will be there when you need it as if it won't be. So what's the point of using precious mental energy on the excuse that's much more likely to produce an undesirable outcome? You have the option of using the same energy to produce a desirable outcome. So shift your focus off yourself and your ego desires and onto how may I serve. When you want what you want for others, what you'd like to have for yourself, you'll find that there's never a shortage of helpful, friendly, kind, understanding folks who can't seem to do enough for you. And also there's that saying that those who help themselves will be helped. So, and a lot of times when you see somebody out there hustling and working really hard towards positive goals, don't you want to help support them too? So for every act of evil, anger, hatred, indifference in the world, there are millions of acts of kindness, assistance, and love. So choose to place your attention on all that is good and be done with this falsehood. I can't even say it. The falsehood of no one will help you. If you're looking for no one to support you, I can guarantee that the universe will present you with experiences mirroring your low expectations. On the other hand, if you believe that you're aligned with supportive energy, and we do believe this, that will show up. And I want to just thank you right now for showing up for me. So let go of this excuse by recognizing and reminding yourself that the belief that no one will be there for you does not hold up to the test of truth. There is no one to blame, and there are thousands of people out there who would love to offer you the aid and the guidance you desire. So choose instead to know that you have a universe that supports you at all times. Thomas Merton once wrote, "We cannot process the truth fully until it has entered into the very substance of our life by good habits." And that is precisely what the first question of Excuses Begone Paradigm is designed to do. That is, it aims to help you eliminate counterproductive habits of thinking that are untrue but have become the substance of your life. The truth really will set you free. You no longer need excuse making because the explanations you've been using for your whole life isn't working. Simply don't hold up to the truth test. And if you go through the 18 excuses in chapter 3, you'll just review 4 of them and examine each of them closely. You'll find that you can't get an unqualified yes to the question. That's the topic of the chapter. Is it true? So you won't be able to find, if you're honest with yourself and you're putting yourself in the right mindset and heart set, you won't be able to support this because it's not true. People will show up to help you. You are loved, and God, the Creator, is looking over you. And also, I've learned too that sometimes the greatest blessings are dressed in tragedy or dressed in things that you think are just horrible. And you learn through those processes as you climb out of the pits of hell that God had a purpose, and through that purpose of that hardship, He was giving you skills that you would never ever have any other way. And He was developing your superhero powers. And also, you might be done with that chapter in your life in service, and He may be moving you into a new chapter of service. And sometimes, it's hard to relinquish something, and so big things happen, and you're moved into a totally different life track, and you start again, and you start to realize later as you look back, this was great wisdom. This was a great blessing to be removed from whatever that life track was. So if you have a choice to use an excuse that may or may not be false, or will keep you stuck in place, or use a different explanation that still may or may not be false, but leads you out of self-defeating thinking habits, which choice should you make? To me, the answer is obvious. Your goal is to develop habits that serve you and enhance your opportunity to maximize your success, happiness, and health. And that means eschewing those old excuses which are just plain lies. So, suggestions for applying the first paradigm question. Whenever you attempt to use an excuse to explain some deficiency in your life, or even after you notice that you just relied on a long-standing alibi, silently put the excuse to the truth test. Simply and honestly answer these two questions. Is it true? And two, can I be 100% certain that it's true? As you do, you'll discover that no excuse pattern holds up to this scrutiny. I want to just encourage you too that the process of switching from one gear to the next can sometimes just be easy as pie, but usually when we're making these kind of changes, there's some kind of resistance and blocks. And I just want to say now, right here, right now, intend and be willing to allow those blocks to be moved out of the way. If you can't say, I remove the block out of the way now, be willing to say, I am willing to allow this block to be removed. Because I'm going to tell you, as you continue to go through this process, it's a process. So be kind to yourself, do great self-care, and when you find yourself falling back into the old program, just stop, wait a minute, and then move in towards the right direction. Just make that choice. Pick that mindset. Like Reverend Ike says, right here and right now, I choose to have a positive self-identity. So we would be saying right here and right now, I know I'm going to be supported. And I know the right people are going to show up. And I know my life is going to get better and better. And I know health, wealth, and love is on its way, etc., etc. So here we go. So even if you don't fully understand how you are going to accomplish this, tell yourself that you don't wish to continue vindicating yourself with false notions. This simple truth test will lead to further explanation on what else you can do to eliminate excuses. So create an explanation that reverses the excuse you're using. It should be just as capable of being either true or untrue as your mental crutch. But the difference is that the explanation leads you away from self-defeat. And here's an example of what I mean. Excuse. I'm too old to pursue my college degree. Question. Is it true? Answer. It may be true, but it also may not be true. I can't be 100% certain that such a statement is rock solid, guaranteed truth. So in order to demolish this excuse that's keeping you from pursuing a college degree, create the opposite thought of, I am perfect age to pursue my college degree. By holding on to this new belief, which indeed may or may not be 100% true, you open a world of possibilities. That's what I was going to say. I would just hold on to the positive mindset and ring that bell and walk boldly in that direction, because God will open the doors for you. Whatever doors are meant for you, like if something you're meant to be in a certain area, some doors will remain closed, but there will be more doors opening than you could ever imagine. So go boldly in that direction. The bonus is that you align yourself with the field of all possibilities and invite reinforcements to help you. Yes. So, since neither your old excuse nor your new belief can be 100% guaranteed, you're free to hold either of these two visions for yourself. Why not select the one that will work with your highest aspirations you hold, rather than against them? The creative source that birthed you from non-being to being supports you in this endeavor. And as it says in the Bible, Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. So your insight has led you to all of the excuses you relied on for a good part of your life. The hymn in Proverbs is God, or the eternal Tao, which is the ultimate truth. So be receptive to revising your excuse formula. It may indeed be God calling you to his truth. And I'm telling you, every single one of you is worth it. So don't look back. Just keep going. So Henry Ward Beecher offers heady advice on distinguishing what's true from what's false. Pushing any truth out very far, you are met by a counter-truth. I recommend giving just as much attention to the counter-truth as you have to the excuses you've been treating as truth. So in closing, okay, so we finished chapter 12. Woo! So, okay, hold on. Okay, yay! Okay, so this is the thing. In closing, I want to leave you with this. There is that story that it's, you never know who knows what. As King Wayne was encouraging me, teach what you know, Queen. So I want to like put this story out there. You know the story about the elephant? The elephant is put on the stake. As a baby elephant, it is tied to a little tiny stake, and it's sort of treated in such a way that it learns to not challenge pulling away from the stake. It learns to just stay at the stake, and that stake holds the elephant in place. And through, I'm sure you can guess how some of the things that are meant to keep that elephant in that boxed up small mind state, that it isn't powerful. And as the elephant grows and grows to full adulthood, that elephant can then still be controlled by that stake. That stake that it could just rip out and throw the hell across a football field probably. Elephants are very strong, they're very intelligent, and they're amazing creatures. But they are trained in a way to keep their mindset limiting. And honestly, if you look at some of the stories around what elephants are doing, just like right here in Hawaii, we had a elephant that attacked its trainer for honestly, it had reason, and it ran through the streets of Hawaii, and eventually, as you can imagine, had to be put down in not a nice way. But I'm just saying, like, the elephant got this mindset as a small elephant that it was controllable, that it was weak, and to not challenge that authority. And so it learned to be like that. And then even as an adult, elephant, it learns to just stay in place on that stake. That's mindset. And then, as you can see, is sometimes, I'm not encouraging this, but sometimes when we are breaking away in our mindset, it could look as that scenario I'm saying of the elephant breaking loose here. But I'm just saying, like, our mindset is everything. And so we are going to be the gentle, wise, intelligent, family-orientated elephants, because elephants are extremely, like, loyal to their family. And we are going to have that higher order mindset, and we are going to break through every excuse into our best life. Because like I keep saying, there's no reason you can't be the best you can be in 2003. And we are all about that. So as I'm still processing my day, I just feel like my mindset is shifting again and again. With each professional that I work with, I am in so much gratitude, and just I am so thankful for all you positive people on the planet who are doing your part to uplift the world and the universe, and that who are seeing that you are here for more than just, you know, nothingness, or, you know, not adding your God-given talent and purpose to this world. So thank you so much for joining me on my channel. When you do get a chance, please hit that subscribe and like, and leave your positive comments. I really do appreciate your support, and I just want to keep encouraging you to get out there. Get in there. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so anyway, you know what's next. Peace in, peace out.